Hey everybody, welcome back. We join our entire group once again, especially given fitting the current holiday season for a game of Vampire the Requiem. This is the first edition, and I'll let everybody on the round table go through and introduce themselves, starting off with our dear streaming host, Andy.
Well, no, you're not supposed to bring me in first. I'm the least important person here. Hi, I'm Andy. In this game, I play Ragtag, the Nosferatu antisocial guy who has absolutely no story points and is just here for me to roll dice. And Kyle is not to put anything major story wise for Ragtag.
Yes, we'll see how well I hold to that rule. Arshes, can you introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Ashes. Today I'll be playing the overly social and brawler happy Dava, Alex Trest.
Nick, can you give ourselves an introduction?
Sure. Hi, I'm Nick. I'll be playing Arthur Stanton, the most intellectual, I guess, of the bunch, and someone who tends a little bit more to the occult than to the sciences.
And finally, Tyler, playing our dear beloved Carter Brooks.
Carter, a gangrel from the Circle of the Crone, a steadfast fighter and hunter. Who likes to get his hands dirty at times.
Well, now with the introductions on out of the way, we return to our little group that had just done some explorations in the sewers and had a bit of information and got a few little deals going in on the group. As Carter comes back to join us and has finished his nightly duties that he had to go through for the Circle of the Crown, let's introduce back into the plot what everybody had found out and get everybody caught up in character.
D10 for Ventry, right?
What?
For blood points. D10?
Yes, but I'll have you guys roll that when it becomes vital.
Got it.
Alrighty then. Sure, I guess I'll start. We found a person called Percival could give us a little bit more insight on Mary, I believe was the name of Ashley's sister, on Mary's prophecy, right? Once I told my sire about it, she looked a little bit at the same time impressed and at the same time very worried about what was going on. So we went to, I don't remember the guy's name in the pool of blood who stank.
His name's not so important right now. It's not like
okay. The fatson in the tub of blood told us about this person called Percival and where we could find him. We also had a very brief run-in with the Rat King, who essentially uses low-tier vampires as errand boys to give the prince a letter. And in turn, trying to annoy the shit out of us, the prince did the same thing, giving us a letter that we need to send to Rat King. So that's pretty much the two things on our agenda, at the moment at least.
Yeah, but now that we know that this is literally chess by mail, it is not a priority to actually deliver that letter.
No, I think we should first find Percy.
I disagree because this is getting in the way of my gaming time. That's Ragtag talking, not Andy. I can be playing World of Warcraft instead of running letters around the sewers.
Yeah.
Job.
And I have to go
you
find
should get
that
a gun and then you can play your games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
foreboding prophecy. Beating up pump kids in the internet. I think the prophecy is a little bit more important right now.
but not
Considering
as fun.
Yeah, I disagree.
I don't know. I never played something on a computer. I only use them to like type up papers or manuscripts. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a waste of time for me to.
And you know it's a waste of time for me delivering mail.
We are not delivering mail. We're going to find Percy so that he can give us I was about to say phylactery, the reliquary of Mary, so that we can oh yeah, I forgot about that. So we can at least get some sense of what the heck is going on in the future.
Let's go.
All right.
I prefer to not face the sun at any point in the future.
Yeah, me neither. So that's 8d10 in total. So I get a total of 7 tries, right?
Yep. 7 tries to accumulate 15 successes.
All right. Roll number 1.
Yeah, and I have to go speak to that Philfoot guy.
You have to find first. Your first roll gets you 2 successes.
Number 2. I should.
You need to re-roll that 10 as well.
Yep.
That's another 2 successes too.
That's actually 3.
All right.
All right.
So you've got 5 out of your 15 so far.
With 2 tries. Thank.
That one, that's your 1. So that's 6.
That's me. 1.
7.
I can't use willpower on this, or can I?
No, you can't.
Is this the 7th try?
This is the 5th try.
This is the 5th try.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Carter stated.
Really good.
Oh.
I'll take it.
That's 6 successes right there.
Nah, not gonna. Okay.
Yeah, I think I did it.
Oh. Yeah, he got it. Fuck.
Yeah. Give me just one last roll on that D10.
Okay. No.
All right. Now I just need to tally those up all together because if
he would get one more roll. If he's not, if he hasn't met it yet, he gets one more roll.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 6. So, do you want me to do the last roll?
No, let me just tally up the successes real fast, and if you do have it, if you've got it within those rolls, you don't have to roll any further. It's normally what I gave you that last roll for was to see if it was actually going to be an exceptional success. Because if you have 5 successes over the threshold, it's an exceptional. So we've got 1, 2.
He's still on 39 exceptional success if he rolls really well on the next roll, because he does get one more.
Well, most of them were only like 1 or 2 successes per roll.
Yeah, you got some really good ones. Like there's one where you got
a couple times.
6. Yeah. 6 successes in one.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Give me one last roll.
All right, 2 more.
Oh, so close. Tyler, I've got 18 successes in total on that. Does that check out with your maths as well?
Anything higher than 8, like it's 8 up, right?
Yeah, 8 plus. So.
Yeah, 16.
Not an exceptional, but you do succeed.
Barely.
What method were you using? Were you using bones with runes, or were you using tea leaves?
I was using some marked bones that I keep in a small pouch in one of my pockets.
You toss the bones upon some embers, and as they crack, and you read in the cracks for what it could say, they explode violently. The shattered pieces smoldering and ashing before you. You know this to mean that there is violence coming. Much violence coming. And all are at risk.
I turn over to Ragtag and I'm like, this is confirmation of what I'm telling you. We need to hurry this up.
Ooh, magic!
I'm so sad I don't have a knife equipped.
You're literally a blood-drinking undead creature. Magic's a thing.
Yeah, but prophecy is still one of those things open to interpretation.
Yeah, but generally, if prophecy says really bad stuff is coming, there's not much gray area in that.
I just sort of point
Prophecy led
over
us
to
straight to Mary.
and I'm having.
And Mary.
I'm trying to
prophecy
remember
has
who
yet to lead us
Archis.
astray.
Archis,
So-
what was your character's name again? It's been a
I
month.
don't know much about logical thinking, but I think that kind of like follows a certain pattern.
I can understand doubting or not believing prophecy 100% for what it says, but you should at least take it seriously.
Okay,
I've seen what
Alex
happens when
is
you
trying to
ignore
track
it.
down Filthfoot to get his true name. There's violence right there. I predicted the future.
No. This is
In all
not
fairness,
going on against one vampire and he essentially beating the shit out of us or beating the undeath out of us. This is a lot bigger.
in all
Regardless.
fairness, it doesn't take much. In all fairness, it doesn't take much a genius to know there's gonna be violence when I'm involved.
That's sort of my point, is that you're here. There's going to be violence involved. I've used my mystic powers to predict that there will be violence at some point. Because that's basically all of human history. That's before you start including all the secret vampire history layered on top of the actual normal history.
Can we just get going?
I'm just gonna collect
Debate.
those bones, put them back in the bag, and just like ignore this very, very rude joke that Ragtag is trying to put on.
Oh no, I'm in the same boat you are. I'm like, seriously?
Let's just
I like-
get going. I'm not one for debate. Let's just deal with this as it comes.
Okay, what day of the week was it? Because I remember Percy was in a specific place on Thursdays and another place on other days.
He can sometimes be found around the university on Thursdays. Found within the tunnels, searching for something on Fridays. Mondays he can be found generally trying to feed.
Isn't that the new Craig David song?
Well, I thought about making Sundays his Bloody Sundays, but didn't really want to bring you two into this.
No one wants to bring you two into this. Oh, Alex, that's
That's true. Um. So what day of the week is it today, or what night of the week is it?
It is Wednesday.
All right. So probably find him feeding somewhere. Darn.
Speaking of which, I'm getting a bit peckish.
Burden. Work, not drink. Unless any of you are gonna frenzy anytime soon.
I just look at
I
Alex.
never planned to frenzy.
Well, depends on your definition of frenzy.
How hungry are you?
I could eat.
All four of you get a text message from a very familiar number, from a very familiar shadow, asking, "Are you all free?"
Ah, fucking hell. This plonker.
You know about?
Okay. I guess I'll text back and saying, yes, we are.
Discarded image.
What's your need?
It's see you guys there.
Wait, what?
Discarded. The response you get back is discarded image in 20 minutes. See you all there.
What's the image?
The discarded image is one of the two major Elysiums for the Chicago Vampire.
Okay.
It is.
Someone's got.
It is a club filled with mirrors that, for some reason, cast no reflection for anybody who actually looks into them. They're all angled in such a way that even if you try to look at yourself, the only thing that you can see is the furniture around.
You know,
Okay.
we're Alex's worst nightmare.
Okay. How far is the discarded image from where we're at?
It would seem that Loki knows a lot more about where you guys are than possibly anybody really should, because from your recollection, it is exactly 20 minutes away by walk.
I'm going to start looking for any
so-
sort of tracker, both arcane and technological.
I'm not gonna look for anything. I imagine Loki, being the badass that we already know he is, probably has something under his sleeve, and that's exactly how I imagine a vampire of that rank to be. Like, he just knows where you are.
Don't care.
This is
I'm
not
going to try
surprising.
and figure it out so that I can guard against it.
I'm gonna kind of smirk and start heading topside.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to try and look for something, give me a wits plus comp roll, Andy.
Wits plus what?
Wits plus composure.
Oh, okay. Let's see. That's 7. So
I'm gonna have a look around, see if anyone's looking at us. Anyone suspicious, at least.
You can make the same roll yourself as well there. Arshes?
Okay, so that's wits plus comp. That's 5 rolls.
No, just 5 dice.
Yeah.
Both of you see and find nothing on your persons that denote that anybody should be able to track you, besides your phones.
I'm going to take the battery out of my phone. I will check it every couple hours.
I turn over to Ragtag. You weren't there, but I also have this ritual I can do to, like, pinpoint where people more or less are. There's a good chance Loki is doing something of that effect.
Okay, then I'm going to look in how to shield from that later.
I raise my finger in the air.
Your pinky?
There's one.
The point is not to know exactly how it's done. It's to figure out how to guard against it. I mean, I can probably track you guys through your phones if I feel like it.
I would
I'm
let
not
you,
really good.
because honestly, I know nothing, only what I need about technology. The rest is fluff.
I don't really
And
do
I start walking
track.
towards a discarded image.
Okay, I'm going to remind you of that the next time you give me shit about my views on magic.
I don't really do much tracking. Usually the trouble comes to me.
No, the trouble does not come to you. You just draw it in from your surroundings.
There's a text
That-
message from Loki.
that's
Like, yeah,
semantics.
are you guys gonna stand around bickering about how I'm finding you all, or are you just gonna...
I'm already starting.
Already
walking
leaving.
towards the discarded image.
I left these
Like,
guys behind me. There.
No, I was arguing. Alex was arguing Ragtag on the move.
Yeah, but when
Just
when
imagine
that
it.
message comes in, I look up at the sky. I'm going to start bickering. I'll catch up to you when I'm done with that.
I just imagine the two Circle of the Crown acolytes just walking, and Alex and Ragtag just like they're discussing,
Freaking up, and we're
find
like,
us. Oh my
okay.
god!
And the rare time Alex uses a word that's more than 2 syllables. Because if he didn't get it, he used the word semantics.
When you all come to the discarded image, it's pretty normal feeling for a regular vampire haunt. The people are within their own booths, keeping to themselves. While it is very trendy, there's an air of tension underneath. Secrets within secrets cast out only in such a way that the mirrors will ever know. Sitting in a far corner booth, dressed in his best clubbing attire, is Loki, with his legs crossed and over the top of the table, as he's openly smoking in the middle of the bar.
Alex looks around at the mirrors and goes, "What the fuck is going on with these mirrors?"
Chill down. It's not good to go berserk before you meet the prince and you get accepted into kindred society. So chill.
The bartender just looks up at Alex as he makes the comment, and he goes, "Each and every single mirror is cast in such a way that while you can look around and see the image of everything else, your own image is discarded."
Why would I want to do that? I'm the prettiest thing in here.
Because here is the only place that you can be yourself.
I'm always myself.
I kind of say that as I turn and start moving towards Loki and give him a nod.
Loki nods in response, just tapping the ash out from his cigarette onto the nearby ashtray. And he looks as he looks to you, and then looks over to the rest of them and just goes, "So, took you a little while longer than expected, but you're here."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll use semantics with him.
Yeah, we
What's
have a
Ragtag?
problem of clash of ideologies, which we need to remedy sometime soon.
When we don't have work to do.
Um,
If I know anything about you, Loki, you have information we might be finding useful. I see a kind of a smile.
"Oh yeah, I've got information for you all. I've also got a few other things if you want to take care of."
One job at a time, I think. But when this is done, I have no problem working with you.
That's good to hear. So, yeah. Here to tell that you guys might be looking for Percival. So, there might be a place that could be on a Wednesday night that nobody else really knows of, but you might need to speak to some of the leadership of the Order of Dracul to be able to get into there. It starts looking between all three of you. No, all four of you. You guys up for it?
We do have one of us
Does-
is a member of Dracul, right?
Yeah. Do we know that Ragtag is Order of Dracul? Because Nick does, but I'm not sure if Arthur does know.
I mean, unless it's the sort of thing I'm supposed to be hiding. It's not like Ragtag talks a lot about himself, but I assume that, among the group that you're working with, that's one of the things that you would share, unless it is top secret.
They're not old order here in Chicago. They openly act. Act. So being known as a member of the Order of Dracul is something that you can openly share.
Okay.
You just can't go into the
Alright.
workings of the Order of Dracul.
Yeah, in that case, that would be information that, yes, Ragtag did share.
Okay, then immediately as Loki finishes, I just go like looking at Ragtag, just waiting for his response.
It's really up to you.
I'm just sitting there.
You want
You
to,
can get us in.
or ask, or if you don't think you can get us in, at least wander and ask some questions.
Well, I don't really stop you guys from going in any place. I let the guards do that, so we'll find out when we get there.
I turned back to Loki. Do we have a name of the location, at least, or at least one you could share?
It's out in the medical wing for the university, where they keep the cadavers.
Arthur makes a slight grin.
Would I know, like, Kindred can't drink dead blood, right? That's one of the things they.
No, they can. They can drink. They can drink dead blood. It just doesn't give them as much nourishment as anything else.
All right. Then I'm just gonna kind of do a like ugh face when he mentions like a funeral place.
Weren't we just at a cemetery?
For work.
I'm just
we were
pointing
looking
it
for
out.
food there.
Strange dead things hanging around the cemetery.
All right.
At that comment, I'm just
That's-
looking at them all, like, thinking dead things are strange.
Have you ever tried? When I see him kind of doing that look, I'm like, have you ever tried dead blood? Not
Probably.
tasty, and not very filling.
Yeah. Besides, it's not the same.
Well, it's one thing. If you're in a
I mean-
press, you need it. You need it. But yeah,
That's true.
that's the bit of information I can give you. So next time I've got something that needs being done, I might just call in on that little favor that you all said you could do. So.
Of course. I mean, I think we owe you one since we took up one of your jobs and botched it.
No, you didn't necessarily botch it fully. I mean, yeah, you guys lost the target, but you gained something else.
And I'm fairly certain that when you're going up against one of the major powers of the city, then it can be forgiven when we decide to not have our throats ripped out.
We didn't complete the job at the end of the day. I think we should
I
focus on this job
lived.
right now. And
On
get it.
another note,
I survived.
Look
That
at-
was good enough.
do you happen to have heard anything from the tender Ashley or her sister? Has she because we've been out on the night for a while, but have you heard anything on Mary's condition yet?
No, nothing as of yet.
Alright.
But yeah, Ashley's already starting to make the reintroductions with the prince for getting her sister back integrated into society when she does get woken. That is to say, though, that at least there hasn't been some rumblings from the Lance in regards to this.
That's actually more or less good news.
After all, that golden mask guy is not going to let anything get by him if he thinks that there's any chance that something happens. So
Yeah. Oh. Thanks for that bit.
yeah, figure a heads up is at least something to keep you going.
Yeah. All right then. I look back at Ragtag. You think you can get us in, or do you know someone who you think that can get us in?
Storyteller, how secure is this place? Can I, do I have to vouch for them, or do I just need to lead them to the location?
Or is it you like we're not entering? Period.
Fort Knox security.
Well, it doesn't even have to be Fort Knox. Just they tell us you're not
Yeah.
part of us. You can't enter.
Well, I've already established that with Alex. I'm just going to there's the door. Let's see whether or not you can walk through it.
If your
Because
face is
if I
utterly
tell
screwed up,
him he's
you
not
can
allowed
pass.
in, he's probably going to run through.
Me? Never.
So that's why I would like to know: is this somewhere where they are allowed?
Well, depending upon who's going to be depending upon who's going to be dealing with the watch for tonight, they might be able to get in. They might not be. It all depends on who's going to be there once you actually get there.
I guess I should say more specifically: are they permitted to be there, or is this if they can overtake whoever is guarding? Like,
Well, no,
is this
not
going
gonna
to
have to-
start a fight when they walk through, or is this just, hey, we got business here, they need to come in?
You might have to explain what the business is, but you figure you might be able to get them in.
Okay, that's good enough.
All right. I guess we'll be heading off.
With
give
with you all starting to head off, Loki looks to Carter and then pulls out a small box of smokes that say Dejarum Black on them and hand them over to him, just in case you need it. Before he lights up another one from a different box held within his jacket, and then starts blowing the smoke up towards the ceiling.
As I turn, I'm gonna pop the box and give it a quick smell. Do I get anything from it?
You smell blood. You smell very musky blood. That's quite tasty.
Have I ever heard of anything like this before?
Give me a quick occult roll.
So that's what would that be?
What's
Occult
plus
then.
occult? What's plus occult because you're doing it on the fly?
So that's a 1.
Yeah, from the smell of it, this isn't vampire blood or mage blood or human blood. This is werewolf blood you've got in there.
Oh. Well. What do I'm gonna go up to the other member of my covenant, and as we're moving, I'm just gonna kind of whisper to him, like, it's werewolf blood.
I would like to make a check to see what happens when a vampire drinks werewolf blood.
What's plus occult?
All right. Okay, 6. Yeah. Shit.
Note that it's more filling than normal blood, but it does come at the cost of it, because you're consuming from a bestial natured creature that's more spiritual than human. Thank you very much. It comes at a cost of you may lose your sense of self more easily when it comes to being under stress.
All right. I'm gonna tap the box. I'm gonna be like, last resource. And when I'm saying last, I mean like all capital letters last.
Do you think he
Right.
wants us to use this as a bargaining chip, though?
Possibility, but whatever you do not let Alex have some. Please.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen anyway.
Yeah.
At that time, Alex pulls out a pack of Chesterfields and lights one up.
I think you should probably keep an eye on Alex. I can't pin him down. I can't pin anybody down here, but you probably have an easier time if he goes nuts.
Do I get the feeling that this is a cigarette you would just throw in your mouth and eat, or is it a you light it and that's your drinking of the blood?
It's more like you would take the cigarette out, and you even do this. Take the cigarette out, and at the bottom of the cigarette, instead of being tobacco past the filter, it's actually a vial of werewolf's blood that you would crack open and drink.
Cool. And how many are there?
3.
All right. All right. As we're walking, I guess I'm going to lead the way since it's near my feeding ground. So I'll lead the rest of the group there.
Would we I am going to ask what would be, I'm guessing they won't give this information freely. Any idea what they'll ask from us?
I look over to Ragtag. How do you guys operate? Like,
I just nod
we-
down to the cigarettes that smell like werewolf blood.
Figured it was going to be a trade.
Everything has a price. The price might change, but everything has a price.
well, yeah, but I'm imagining your prices are more material based, right?
Depends on who's buying and who's selling.
You think you might know who would have the information we need?
Quite possibly. Storyteller, what do I know?
Well, it could very well be. And from your deductions, that person was at the area that he's at. He'll probably be there himself, or if he's not, and you manage to get everybody through, you can at least probably send word through to Scratch or somebody else higher up in the organization to come down and speak.
So in other words, the short answer is no, I don't know. We'll just have to find out when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I will answer.
So much talking and negotiating.
I thought that's
Yeah,
what you guys
yeah.
like to do.
I don't like this. Where's the fist fight?
No, this is very
Look, this is how other people get information. We actually have to, work for it. We don't just throw bones onto a fire and then the answers come to us. You have to
We
talk,
pay
you
for
only
our.
knew what I
we
had to
pay
do to
for.
get those bones.
We pay for the information we get.
and that's what you will be doing now.
I'm just going to like lift up my sleeve and just you will see like various cuts on his arm. Yeah, I have no idea what it is to pay for information. And just put my sleeve back up.
Are you guys walking down the street while talking about this kind of shit?
Oh yeah.
Well,
I thought we were
Tyranny,
still.
I'm walking towards the university doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
making sure we're not other normal folk aren't around, but yeah.
This is also near Alex's hunting grounds as well.
Right. Don't be coming onto my turf, man.
Like mainly the frat parties.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's not the most original hunting ground.
Well, no,
Who
but
said-
it's
Who said that
easier
was
for
original?
it's easier for me to get uh, my meat per se in a place where there's more intellectual types than people who can probably pin me down. I probably have like the strength of a human wrestler, and that's about it. Compared to Kindred, that's like weak.
I don't know. Like sometimes being pinned down when you're feeding is pretty fun.
All right. Anyway.
As you come up to, now, as you're led to the back door.
I'm also going to put a vial into separate pockets, so it's not just one big mass of the three. They're kind of spread out, so I can reach to grab one without revealing the others.
That's a good idea. All right.
And as we approach, I'm going to start, and I'm going to turn to them and be like, start a negotiation with one and work up from there if we have to.
I'll leave that sort of stuff to you. Sure,
I
pretty
think
charming when I-
Ragtag is actually fairly decent at negotiation, so I
Wait,
will.
are you a Deva, Alex?
Yeah, I'm
I-
better at seduction than negotiating. If you want to, if you want me to get into bed, sure.
Arthur's is like conflicted between every single other Deva he's seen and Alex. He's like, I thought 1 + 1's supposed to give 2.
Nah, that's just basic mathematics.
Oh, okay.
1 + 1 = Alex.
All right.
And
go
you
into
guys
deep
think
out-
you have had to pay a price for your knowledge.
No knowledge is free.
But sometimes the price is greater than what we get for it. And with that, I will head to whatever exact location we're going to, because
Yeah.
I forget the name of the place at this point.
I'll head to the
The
medical
morgue
wing.
or the funeral home.
I think after that comment from Alex, a few brain cells have died.
Yeah, I don't know if vampires can get headaches, but Ragtag has what he refers to as a phantom headache, which is, this conversation is so stupid, I should be in pain right now, so therefore I feel pain.
Hey, some people pay good money for that pain.
Anyways, I will walk up to the medical wing, and as soon as we start getting closer, I'm just gonna like give Ragtag a nudge a little bit more towards.
Yeah, he takes
front.
the lead since this is Dracul territory.
All right. So,
Sorry, before we approach, what are we looking to get? Are we looking just to get in? Because I think Loki was talking about information we might need, correct?
Yeah, place where Percy probably could be found today.
And permission to enter said place.
That as well.
Right.
the double doors of the student medical hospital for Chicago University are wide open. People going back and forth. But they don't look like your average everyday staff. Some of them in suits, others are in just pure rags. But there is an air that whoever is coming here knows that they are needed to be here, and they need to do something in order to get the debt wiped off that's bringing them there.
So before we get too close, I'm just going to hold up my hand to stop everyone. Rules for tonight. First off, I will start doing the talking. I will let you know when you are going to enter the conversation. I point to Alex. You do not enter the conversation at any point. No. Because if you think I'm short-tempered, do you really want to take the chance with the ones who make me look weak?
I actually
Alex
never
got-
thought of you as short-tempered at all.
Alex pauses for a second and thinks about that.
Okay, let me rephrase this. Do you want to survive long enough to find your sire? If that answer is yes, keep your mouth shut. If that answer is no, but I would rather not be in tremendous amounts of pain, keep your mouth shut.
Alex just glares, but then shrugs.
The other option is that I go find a needle and thread and I sew your mouth shut. That's not a threat. That is our way of getting out of this tonight.
It's not something we joke around with. Some covens are more.
Do I sound like I am joking?
I no way do you do.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with you. I am.
Okay.
I'm looking you in the eye very seriously. Like you can tell just by looking at me. I get what you're talking about. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
You will not hear a peep from me.
Yeah. You two, I'm okay with. You don't go around annoying everyone. I turn to Alex. You have annoyed almost everyone I've seen you meet. Present company included.
Alex,
Let it be clear.
Alex's jaw drops.
Let it be clear that I've told Carter that to keep an eye on Alex and to drop him if he starts going crazy or the slightest hint of crazy.
I know, but I would rather.
Alex, like,
I am not looking to incur any more debt tonight than what I will have to. And if he starts trying to negotiate the way he negotiates, we are going to owe a lot more than 3 vials.
Alex was generally shocked that people find him annoying.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like I'm okay. So later on, I'm going to start pulling up security footage from every place he's ever been in, the fights he's been in, because I'm sure I've got a hard drive somewhere I've been collecting this. But anyway, with that information put out, I am going to go in.
Storyteller, I have a question. What would be the VTR equivalent of an insight check?
Wits plus empathy.
Oh, okay.
Wits plus empathy will help you do insight checks, but it will also be the counter roll against somebody who is trying to deceive you. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, Arthur's keeping that, like, he's going in, he's not going to say anything, but he's not going in like, hey, they're going to tell us everything. He's going in very skeptical.
Alex is just, as you guys walk off, Alex is just standing there, just dumbfounded.
And in the back of Ragtag's mind, he's like, I did it. I got him to be quiet. How can we recreate this more often?
More death and life scenarios. Well, permanent death and undeath scenarios.
I'm fairly certain that thread doesn't work on him. Again, just based on the fact that he was ready to fight Solomon's ghouls, I'm pretty sure he doesn't comprehend the danger he's in. But anyway, I'm going to go on in.
About 2 meters into the hallway, there is a blacked out glass with a counter underneath it. That looks like as if it's an area for people to just slide something under and get something back in return, or just to slide something over in order to pay something off. There is a small mic box right next to it, and as you come close, you can hear crackling through. State your name and business.
What exactly, because I think I had a little bit of trouble hearing, what exactly was it that Loki told us to come here for? Like, how did he phrase it?
Percival might be here.
Okay. Yep. Then in that case, I'll just say, Ragtag here to see Percival.
What's your business?
It is the business of the Hound.
Well, you know the rules. You have 3 strangers with you. What do they offer in payment to find this person?
I mean, I was hoping we didn't have to pay that much right up front, but the number is a little too good. So, what do I think the price is going to be? Like, I know what they might want, but how cheap do I think I can get this?
Well, you can try and haggle, which would be a wits plus persuasion. Oh, well, a charisma plus persuasion roll.
Okay, I'm trying to check.
Bear in mind, you being Nosferatu, you do not get those re-rolled in one subtract.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where was charisma at in here again?
Just
I believe it's manipulation or
Manipulation, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, I only have like 1 dot in manipulation. I put most of it into composure and.
The
All
fact
right.
is, Alex, the one you told to quiet has the highest persuasion roll.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think you're the one allowed to negotiate.
I've got a lot of manipulation.
I'll just hold my hand out for 1 vial.
There are 3, though. What one thing are you offering over?
I'm gonna pull out the vial and hand it to my companion to hand. Like, I'm not directly handing it in. I'm handing it to show what it is, basically. Not saying a word, just holding it out.
So you're just pretty much like you're taking out the cigarette from within your jacket, forcing out the capsule, and then while like sneaking it up to Ragtag, who can then hold it up.
Well, no, I'm not being sneaky about it. I'm taking it out, handing it off. Like, I'm the one carrying it, but it's his now to.
Okay. And I will place that 1 vial in to slide through.
A slender male hand darts out and takes the vial, and then a second afterwards, you hear over the mic, over the speaker. That is good for 2. But you need 1. But you need to pay for 1 more.
Alex pulls out one of his Chesterfields.
Alex stays back.
I'll just say, can I have 1 on credit? I will owe you a personal favor.
You will need to speak with one of the others after this night in order to figure out how you are going to pay this.
So he doesn't look at me for the next vial. He just says that. Like, there's no
No, I don't ask for a second vial. I just
Okay.
say I will owe a favor.
Alex hands Ragtag a Chesterfield.
Ragtag does not even acknowledge this. He just waits for the door to open.
I swat the Chesterfield onto the floor. And I just give Alex a death stare, like, fucking stop.
You told Alex about the vials, so he's assuming he's offering smokes.
A door about half a meter away from the window opens up, and out steps a young, raven-haired woman with eyeglasses, dressed in a lab coat, holding a clipboard. She motions over for you all to step through.
I step through.
I turn to Alex. I just hold 1 finger up and give him the look, like, remember what I said, and then I go through.
Alex just shrugs. Fine, I'll just stand around and look pretty.
Also going in.
You come in, and everything smells quite clean, sanitized. From somewhere back and beyond, you can hear voices, screams, crying, and then silence as the raven-haired assistant closes the door behind you all and starts leading you towards the back. Percival is located in the third room. He will be in the middle of meditations at the moment, so your time to discuss with him must be quick. She looks over to Ragtag. I do believe that you are associated with the one named Scratch. Is this correct?
That's what he told me to call him.
Good. We will confer over to him the favor that you will owe, and he will inform you of it to keep everything within legitimate purviews.
I just nod.
When you are done, return back to me and I shall escort you out. Do not wander off the path, and do not go anywhere else. It is along the blue line. As she says that, the lights go out, and there is 3 glowing lines. The first one being blue, the second one being red, and the last one being in the purest white.
I follow the blue brick road.
I assume this isn't patriotic.
What?
I said I assume this isn't a patriotic color scheme.
No, it is not. It's red. It's blue, red, white.
Yeah.
If it was patriotic, I'd invert some of the colors.
Sure.
In spite.
I will follow Ragtag.
I will follow the two of them.
I do want to put out, when we get to Percy's room, I do want to activate Aura Sense.
Quick question: has the other guy left us, or is he following us to the room?
She seemingly has disappeared as soon as the lights have gone off. You can't even hear a heartbeat.
We probably couldn't hear a heartbeat anyway.
Good point. All right.
So as you walk through, the sounds continue to rise and fall with each step. Screams, cries, bitter tears shed in the darkness as you twist and turn throughout, following the blue trail. And you come up to a large blue door. And then once you open it, you can see about 7 other blue doors, each with a number engraved into it. 1 to 7.
3.
Going up to 3.
As we go up to, as Alice goes to 3, he's going to spend a blood point and activate Majesty. I'm assuming I have enough. I got extended period of time, so he might need to use his powers to persuade, because he does not want to feel like he's feeling like he's a burden on the group, so he wants to actually try and contribute.
Are you doing that as the door opens or before?
Before.
Okay. This is going to be fun because Majesty is actually site-based.
Is it? Never mind.
So it's like you activate it. Everybody else has to roll their resolve and blood potency.
Oh damn!
Misunderstood the ruling on that.
Like Alex is getting used to his powers.
All right, I am just because now I know that that's possibly something that's going to happen. I'm going to bring up the.
I don't want to fall in love with Alex.
It's gonna happen sooner or
No.
later.
I will spend the willpower point to not fall in love with Alex, please. Because honestly, I don't know how I would roleplay that. Because he's like, Alex, stop. Oh my dear Alex. It would be like so bipolar.
Oh, it was so bad.
Sorry, I'm just getting down to the appendix right now.
No problem.
All right, it's not doing anything I wanted to say right now, so I'm gonna have to pull out the book itself.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's just I need
It's
that
what
on
makes
hand.
the game interesting when we do things.
Yeah.
If you honestly just played it being quiet, it would have been a relatively boring session, I suspect.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Carl has something up his sleeve to make it a little bit more interesting. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I don't deny that, but we all know that this is going to make it something more.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it doesn't even have the ability for somebody to fight against it. It just has to.
What?
Yeah.
What? It's like a Burning Hands clone. Anything in that radius just is attracted to. God.
It's It actually takes penalties according to how many people are in the room. And how many people he's trying to awe. So if he walks into there and he is trying to awe, he activates awe in the room. He's trying to awe 5 people.
Whoa.
Wait, though. It says how many people you're trying to awe, so you could say 1. I think the wording of that is if you're trying to awe like a room full of people, it gets more difficult.
Yeah.
Please. I'm begging you. One
I
person.
think that's the wording.
There was an errata though on it where it's actually the entire room.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's just pretty much like all people's eyes are on you, and then it's just like that entire thing. Because normally, if you're trying to use awe, you're using it as a way to try and either trying to gather a single person, or you're using it in a group situation where people will pay more attention to you. So they errated it in order to make it so that it's like it's based on the number of people in the room, which is really funny. Yeah, perhaps the greatest use for awe is the ability to facilitate public speaking or debate, whether the vampire says people are likely to lend serious creature. As with other majesty power, awe ceases to be useful when more pressing matters come to the fore. Personal safety always takes precedence, so subjected to the character stature likely remember how good they felt around him and tailor future actions accordingly. So, yeah.
Oh my god. This is gonna be hilarious.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, so let's move away from the errata then, and let's go as the raw in the book, because that's what everybody's got a hold of. So yeah, you can actually select out in a group who you're trying to awe, but oh dear God, that would have been hilarious.
Oh no.
You walk into a room, oh wow, suddenly Alex is just really much more charming.
Because I was about to ask, how does my emotional detachment work with that?
It doesn't. I think emotional detachment actually comes into focus when it's more stressful situations.
It would have been just like hilarious. We were just like, Alex, don't do this, and just like hammering this into him, and then all of a sudden we're about to open the door, like, oh, Alex, my friend, my pal.
Basically, what I was going to do is I'll activate Majesty as I reach the door and open it, so you can actually Majesty put full Majesty when he gets into the room.
All right. So, as you open the door, you see sitting down in a lotus position in the center of the room, absolutely covered head to toe in blood, is a small, frail-looking man in his mid-30s. In what looks to be a 1920s suit, or at least that's what you can tell through all the blood that is covering him.
Orisons.
All right, Orisons. Ooh. Orisons actually leads into a clash of wills as well.
Yeah, I would imagine as well.
Oh yeah.
I believe it's what? My aspects. It's. I think it's aspects, wits, and empathy minus his composure.
No, for Clash of Will, for the actual aura sense, it is, it is that. But for Clash of Wills, it's going to be your wits plus investigation plus aspects versus his resolve, stealth, and obfuscate.
Okay. It's, to be honest, it's the same dice pool. There's not much difference. So Clash of Wills, here we go. No modifier, or do I subtract something from it?
Modifier for no, there is no modifier for Clash of Wills.
Right, for the Orisons, yes.
For the aura sense, you're going to be a -4. So his composure is 4.
Yeah, probably. Shit.
Oh, damn.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because his power is actually in an aggressive stance, not in defensive. It's always active because it is Aspects level 2. Or not Aspects, it's Obfuscate level 2. Yeah, you can tell that it is going to be a vampire in front of you. And because of that, you also know that he's blood potency 3.
All
So,
right.
resolve plus composure, -1.
Oh no! Fuck me. No! -1. Okay, that puts it up to a 2. Mind you. This
You
can
can
go bad.
spend a willpower point.
I will spend a willpower point. What does that do again?
That gives you a +3 to the pool.
Okay, that's a lot better. That's 5d10 then.
Oh, please tell me you're not going to wind up frenzying before the end of this.
Reroll that 10.
Nope.
You barely hold on.
Yes, I imagine so.
There's a slight twitch of his lips as he catches what you're seeing. But yeah. Oh, I forgot to ask you. Were you trying to look for a primary shade of color, or patterns including information revealing the nature of the creature, or subtle shifts in the mixtures of colors?
Well,
patterns?
because of all the information, Arthur guesses that he's already talking to. He knows Percy is a kindred. He's looking more than anything about emotional state, angry, hungry, etc., etc. That's what he's looking for specifically with the aura sense.
Okay, so with your aura sense, yeah, that's primary color or shade. So yeah, you still get
Well, I've got 2.
you get sharp, flickering gold tracing throughout his entire aura. Now, for a clue on what that is, page 120 holds the aura signifiers for you.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Okay. You said gold, right?
Sharp, flickering gold.
Oh, damn. Okay. I was not expecting that. I don't shove him in, but I try to push a little for Ragtag to come on in beside me.
Well, I pretty much figured I was walking in anyway.
Alex barges past both of you. And tries to hit Percival with Majesty.
Oh, I thought you were trying to hit him. I'm like, I immediately tackle Alex.
Alright, so that is presence plus expression plus majesty.
Okay.
Can I just say that Ragtag's taking a long step to the side as soon as he starts to, brush past us? I'm like, I'm just going to stand clear.
I'm just looking like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Presence plus
expression plus majesty.
So that's going to be... Okay, so that is 4, 5, 6 dice.
Oh, nice. Oh, I need to mark the willpower I used.
And I'm going to burn a will point to add 2 more dice to the pool.
Okay.
So that's 9 die.
I'm so glad right now it's pinpoint.
Oh my god, 1 success.
Happens.
This is
You
what
have his attention as his eyes look over to Alex. Arthur, you see his aura shift from flickering sharp gold to flickering sharp bright blue.
Trying to find it.
Quick question, because I do know that Alex is up to something. Will I get anything off of a body language, or is he remaining perfectly still?
Oh, Lord.
He's remaining perfectly still.
Okay.
There's this dumbstruck expression on
I'm just like
Arthur's face,
against the wall, waiting for
Did he,
the disaster.
Arthur just has this dumbfounded look like, what just happened right here?
Alex is going to saunter over.
Yeah, we might need to. Oh my god.
I'm gonna put my arm, like, close hanger style. I'm like, to like keep everybody back and just let Alex do his thing. Because of the freaking bright blue I just saw, I'm like, okay.
I'm just.
Bear in mind, this is awe, so it's not like with revelation. Your successes are now added into your dice pool for persuasion with him. So, yeah, there's still a chance you might utterly fuck this up.
He's going. Look, I am not the smartest guy here, but I am going to ask you very so nicely if you could answer my friend's questions with minimal hassle. Could you do that for me?
Yes, but I always need a payment. All information needs payment.
Is there any way we could forego the payment?
Yeah, if you're trying, make me a charisma plus persuasion roll plus that one success from your awe.
Charisma
It's
plus-
not too loud, but there's at least a small sound from Arthur just smacking the front of his face. He's like,
charisma. So
manipulation or
what do you think
presence?
Presence, manipulation, or
Manipulation.
That's gonna be 7 dice. Plus additional 1, so that's 8 dice. Two successes.
Oh. There's a tie here. He just looks at you and he goes, as pretty as you are, you're going to need to make a better case for it.
How about if they ask their questions, and when you ask your price, you are a little more favorable in the asking?
That seems more lenient. That I can do.
Sweet. Alex walks back. All yours, lads.
I'm just watching Alex walk away, and I just look at Arthur, like I'm staying on the
I just
wall where
give
I
him
will be out of
a
sight.
nod, and I just whisper, Davis, bro. And I take a few steps towards Percy.
You see his aura switch from mottled shifting, well, not sharp flickering, bright blue, to a more hypnotic swirling. Violet. Just a slight twisting of the aura in a swirl that as it stops its sharp flickering to suddenly just twirling like a vortex in violet. How can I help?
You are Percival, yes?
Yes. I do go by that name.
My name is Arthur Stanton. I've been sent here to recover information about the whereabouts, or if possibly you have in your possession, an item which you might have seen during the last 80 years of your own life. A reliquary.
There's a shift in his aura as you state this. It goes back to sharp flickering. This time, silver. Which one are you looking for?
At least my hunt for information has led me to believe that you might know the whereabouts of Mary's reliquary. And situations have come forth that this reliquary has been needed. She has been unearthed, and through that unearthing, something has come into light.
The reliquary is safe. Unfortunately, I can't remember where it is. It is with mine as much as it is with the others. Somewhere deep within the bowels of the city. The masked man searches for it just as much as we do. But it might not be him who finds it. I continue to look among the Underdark, but I get the feeling that it's going to be the flames that are looking at the sides that are hurrying someone else more along. He reaches out, and with one blood-soaked finger, he writes out the Roman numeral 7. And then above it, presses his hand down in full, creating a bloody imprint.
First, do I recognize with kind of that start flickering aura? Do I recognize that he is under the practice of the circle?
He's not under the practice of the circle, but a lot of Maquettes have an innate sort of touch to the occult, and they, by use of their powers, start to see things, and that over time can drive some of them mad. It can also make some of them very in tune to what is going on in the hidden world.
Right. On another note, do I recall something with regards to the Roman numeral 7 with the handprint? Do I see that as a reference to something?
Those of you among the circle know the Roman numeral 7 as being the symbol of 7. They are a group that hunts vampires, but by legend and rumor, they themselves are vampires as well. Ragtag, that bloody handprint, is the symbol of the brood. If ever there was a dark mirror to the Ordo Dracul, that is the brood.
Does the 7 have any meaning to me in regards to the brood?
No, generally those two organizations do not work together. But wherever the brood are, shit happens, and shit hits the fan bad, because they have no respect for the masquerade. They have no respect for life. They consume and they destroy.
I am not going to look at Alex when all that comes to mind, but there is definitely a connection in my mind.
With regards to the 7, what information can I recollect from them that I've heard? Are their targets very high profile? Do I recall hearing about any of the specific members of the 7?
There are no specific members that you recognize. It's normal. They are normally mentioned in hushed whispers. In regards to if somebody is taken out in a very violent way, there's normally, and there's no normal explanation within the city. Rumor has it that sometimes if somebody was taken out, that, and especially if they were a very high influence vampire, that the Roman numeral 7 was found upon them in some form, either in their haven or in some place around it. And that's rumors that come into the circle to yourself and to Trevor as you work your way through the circle and have been studying your practices, because these are silent hunters that very few people live to tell the tale from.
Right. And right. So, and would I know what kind of targets they tend to favor, or is it very random, or is that info just not?
That info is just not able to be obtained. There's very little rhyme or reason to how these, for lack of a better term, monsters act.
There's no sense in asking where his reliquary is, or else he would have it.
Why do you not know where it is? What? Have you blocked it? Has the... We were led to believe you might have... point us in the proper direction.
As Trevor speaks, Arthur, you see Percival's aura go from, whoa, wow, where did Nick go? You see Percival's aura go from the silver to a deep red, and his face sort of scrunches together. He goes, I remember hallways, and I remember screams and chanting and ash. So much ash. And then somebody saying they need to get her out. And everything went black. and I woke up 10 years later.
When was this?
Woke up again, 1998.
Oh, right. Yeah. I got my rubbish on it working on that.
No, not 98. 98 was when it happened. This was...
Sorry.
I doesn't say
No, it wasn't 98.
pasture territory.
As he continues to speak, his you can start to see from the center of his body, his aura starting to ripple. Arthur, just like as if he's and it's starting to turn bright green as he does so. As it does so.
Happened before. What were you doing before the loss of memory? Something must have led you there. Do you remember?
No, there was just screams and ash, and they're gone, and I can't find them.
Was there? Did you seek? Libraries besides hers?
I know that it was down in the sewers.
There's
It was
a
where I always was, where I made my home.
the turn. It's just
There
there's
was a
a separate
fight.
tab for factions.
There's as much as I can piece together from my own visions and from the tunnels that I've been able to go through deeper than even most others will go into. There was fire used. I haven't been able to find my lab and my area since waking up in
I've got Dutton back. I'd rather
Maxwell's care.
Which Maxwell?
Does he seem upset about the Maxwell's care? Does he seem kind of like, oh, he helped me, and that's fine? Can I get an idea of what his emotion is connected to that?
Can you give me a wits plus empathy roll?
Also, Caden's there.
He seems relieved, almost idealist. He seems relieved at that, at the mentioning of Maxwell's name.
Yeah, just
But there's still a tenseness there because, which you kind of get off the fact that he can't remember it. And Arthur, you see that his aura is now yellow at the mentioning of. Oh, yeah, 4. Okay, yeah, 4. You can tell that he's much more relaxed at the mentioning of Alex, but he's he's still quite tense over the fact that he can't drag up the memories.
Researched, would us being with you to guide and help keep you on track help?
It might. We'd have to do it Sunday though.
What time is it? Is the sun gonna come up soon, or?
You get the feeling that the sun could be coming up in the next couple of hours.
We do have some hours to burn. We would be willing to help you if you can guarantee that we can get her phylactery.
That's the thing, we can't guarantee that it would be found. At least not right now. I can't remember. And if we travel underground, we can lose track of time, and falling asleep in the tunnels is not something that you really want to do.
We have watches. We could set an alarm and then give ourselves time to leave. I just think the sooner we can get started, the better odds to find her before this. And I look over at the blood-sloped hand with the 7 before things get too bad for us all.
Arthur, you see his aura turn to orange.
I'm not being aggressive. I'm just like that. I understand your argument. Like, he's just gonna, yeah.
You've been searching for a long time for your own fractured power. But you've been doing it alone. We are on the same mission. You have, at least from what you've told us, both Mary's and your reliquary are probably in the same locale. Aiding us is aiding you. And together we probably have a better chance of finding them, as well as together we also have a good chance of making sure no one gets dragged off. That includes extended times in the sewers. I imagine you can't be down there too long before you start running out of blood, you start feeling sleepy. It is best for both of our parties to do this together.
It's not
temporarily.
It's not just the fact that you can fall asleep
Well,
without realizing that you've gone so long and that it's day. There's things awakening. And I don't know if going down there tonight is a good time.
Yeah, well, then probably not pay it back, so.
Especially since I still have my debt to pay for right now. And he looks to Ragtag.
Sorry, I missed that last part. There was another sound coming through.
There's something in your background that's coming through every once in a while. It's getting difficult to understand you at times.
That would be my my brother-in-law. He's on a game as well, and he gets picked up on my mic. Yeah, it's because there's something else down there. Something is awakening, and we don't want to be down there with even the hint that we might go under. And I still have my debt to pay for tonight. As he looks over to Ragtag.
I take a small step forward. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but there have been portents declared by Mary, and those portents are not trifling. They are very much foreboding for the near future, which is why we are very urgent and a little bit adamant to find her reliquary, so that her portents can be given more detail. This is why we are so adamant. Maybe not tonight. Maybe tomorrow night we can start our search, but we need some urgency to our search.
Something is awakening under the ground. If something dark is coming,
if you're afraid, right? If you're afraid of what is under there now, if these portents come to pass, there might be worse things coming from them, and then the possibility of recovering your reliquary might just be an act of futility. This is probably the best time to join forces and find both yours and Mary's reliquaries before things get tossed up in flames, as it were.
Got a leader on the back here.
Well then, tonight is only the 1,000th night. Tomorrow night, let it be 1,001. We will go, but I will not be responsible for everything.
Of course not. It would be illogical for us to expect that. Where? Sorry. Do you have any inkling of where the reliquary is not, so we can start eliminating possibilities?
I know that it's not anywhere under this portion of the city, so it might be in the older, so more central. When night falls, be at the entrance to the L. I'll take you.
We will be there. Unless anybody has objections about it.
Nah, I'm all good.
Now I must pay my debt tonight. I will see you all tomorrow.
Ragtag will just nod and leave him to it.
Yep. Bolting out.
Been out.
Alex gives a nod and walks out.
How many of the group have auspex?
Aspects.
I do not.
Sure.
So,
What's aspects?
discipline?
It should be like heightened senses or aura sense, something like that.
No. I don't have any of that. I have a few bloodline traits, but disciplines. But nothing aspects.
I have Protean. That'll actually, I think, help. 1 second.
Disciplines. I have majesty, vision, obfuscate, and severity.
Spectre the Predator. 1 second. What's that one do?
That means that you do not react with fear whenever you meet a vampire who has a higher blood potency than you. Your predator is now just, whenever you meet a vampire who has higher blood potency than you, your predator reacts like as if you're meeting an equal.
So I don't think I have any detection stuff then.
No, it's more like it's more for those who have the ability to heighten their senses. Arthur, as you are all leaving, you catch a scent of ash, fire. And you hear a murmur. Almost not coming from his room exactly, but somewhere within the building of repeated once, repeated 1,000 times before. And the cycle begins again.
Can I make a roll to see if that means anything to me? If I've heard it before, if it feels like I recognize it from a philosophy of a certain group or covenant.
Yeah, make me a Wits plus Arcana check.
Arcana?
Yeah.
We have Arcana?
You said arcane or whatever the heck, occult.
Oh, I was like,
The terms get sort
Are we
of
mixing-
mixed after a while.
Yeah,
that's
I've been playing everything for so long that it's just like occult equals arcana equals this equals
Just
that.
keep saying terms until you find one that matches your sheet.
fuck.
Yeah, I keep looking at the
Yeah,
total when I want to look at the individual numbers.
Yeah,
Nope, nothing. At least for right now.
nada. Okay, I kind of stop walking. And I'm like, do you guys not hear that?
When he says that, I'm going to do a quick kind of point check just to make sure we're not being followed or if I see anybody watching us.
There's nobody that you can see.
I can't pinpoint from which of the doors that murmur was coming from, right? It just seems like all around.
It just seems like it came from all around.
We should move on.
Okay. Let's just keep walking.
You follow back along the blue line, and right as you're about to reach the end of the line, the lights turn back on, and standing in front of you once again is the raven-haired woman. Did you get all that you needed?
Yes.
We got what was
As much
available.
as we're gonna get. Best said.
Good. Scratch has been told of the price that you will need to pay. You all take care. She opens up the door once more.
And I will leave.
As will I.
As will I.
May the Mother grant you her blessings. And then she closes the door after you all exit.
Wait, what did she say?
May the Mother grant you her blessings.
You fuck.
I thought that was something that would
George.
mean more to him than it would to me.
What? I want to. Fucking God.
Start to leave. I am going to turn and said we had one more vial left. We had 2 more vials left. Why did you decide to pay yourself?
Because I'm not overpaying just to get one of us through. One of you through. Don't get me wrong, if the price is high enough, you'll be paying me back.
I can agree to that.
Well,
Your own choice.
I slap Alex on the back. Nicely done.
well,
Just make sure you don't use that on us because you will be screwed after that wears off.
yeah. I'm kind of getting used to all this power stuff, but I thought it'd be a
At all.
good. It'd be a good time to try out, you know.
Help you at all? Are you part of a coven?
Me, no, I'm aligned. Uh,
Do you-
sorry, I'm getting really crackling here.
Yeah, Nick, we're getting a little bit of a static from you.
Still getting some?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a crackling coming from yours. Not sure why. Okay, it's better now.
Yeah, it's been. What was that? Arthur? I don't know, Carter.
So, with the time we have left for tonight, I think you need a more thorough education into the world that you've been ushered into.
Maybe it could help. But what was your question before? I didn't quite get that.
I was asking if you had a coven or if you like. I know your sire basically abandoned you just to
Yeah.
prevent further misunderstandings.
No coven. I'm on me. I'm on me, Todd. You know.
Let's go to a private spot. We should all walk him
Well,
through, at the very least. You've handled yourself well, but it could have gone very bad.
possibly.
His fear of you overstepping was valid.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Alex hangs his head.
The rule this mayor has taken keeps vampires from the true death, but there are many, many things worse in this world and others worse than that. We're not age, yes, but that only means we can extend suffering over generations.
I'm just trying to get by on what I've always gotten by on: my looks and my fists.
This won't solve all your problems here.
That's what my looks are for.
Do you know anything about blood potency, about the generations?
No, I was taught how to feed, taught how to get used to my body, but didn't my education was a little lax.
To put things simply, if you create another vampire, it'll be weaker than you. Every generation, the blood thins. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I get that.
So you also understand the reverse is true. There are ancient vampires that could fight all of us, fully armed and ready, alone, with no problems.
How am I supposed to deal with it? I'm not. I was supposed to deal with the situation when I can't. Alex is just trying to comprehend this. His eyes just. He just can't figure out.
When
You know,
someone
Israel,
smarter than you says keep quiet, you keep quiet. That's how you
In all, fair,
survive.
in all fairness, most people are smarter than me, so I would pretty much be mute.
I don't see the downside.
that's not really what I'm saying, but there are times when you're dealing with people who have seen the medieval times, have been alive for hundreds and hundreds of years. They follow a very strict, there is a hierarchy. You have to follow it or pay the price. Whether that's to show respect or let others speak first. Arrogance and insults will not get you far in this world. There are certain battles you can fight and certain grounds you can stand on. But there are others, death would be a preferred option to what they would do to you.
How am I supposed to figure this out? When I can fly, when I can't.
Look to us. I have seen some of the darker sides of what our kindred can do. But
And
I've also
here,
seen some of the more understanding of our kind.
and another good rule of thumb is that when we tell you that it's time to fight, then you can go wild. Until then, restraint is better. Because you don't know who is stronger than you.
There's kindred that look tough, and believe me, they are tough. But if you remember the Rat King, he was the thinnest man you probably have ever seen in your life. He could essentially make you into Tinderwood easily. And he does not look tough at all. Not every single kindred is going to be big and beefy like Solomon. And those are the ones to watch out, specifically to watch out for.
Well, I know
and
that
keep
much.
yourself in check.
Well, I know that much. Even when I was human, the scrawny buggers were the ones to watch out for.
In this case, it's the
Even
ones
if
you
you-
can't sense that are going to be the most dangerous. Some of us can hide our predator. So we look like prey, and we lure you in, and then we destroy you. You will jump at anything, and I do mean anything in every sense of the word. You have to learn restraint.
Some things that you could fight. Information is the weapon in this world. That's why I rarely talk, why I show reverence to others that are better in that area. I know what I'm good at, and I excel at it. I say with a kind of sick smirk with kind of one of my fangs showing. But I know others where I'm weak.
Suppose if we talk about things I excel in, I'm pretty good at, despite my my grating personality, as some might consider it. I can be very persuasive when I need it. Need to be not just with my fists.
Also, take into account, you are essentially our responsibility because you are part of our coterie. So if you screw up, we all screw up, which is why we should take more into account. And I look at everybody, including Red Tag, we should probably clue him in on a lot of stuff, little by little. Or else our heads can be rolling if his does.
I kind of get this far away look in my eyes, and then I turn. It's like the indulgence of the king. Didn't you hear that?
Did not.
No.
Unless the storyteller forgot about mine.
Whisper, fleeting of the wind.
I heard when we were inside when we were leaving before meeting that odd person. I heard some murmuring around, and it said, Kyle, you correct me. The cycle continues. I'm not sure if you guys picked it up.
You guys know of a king of unforgiving flames? Does that ring mean anything to any of you?
Does that mean anything to me, storyteller?
No, it doesn't mean anything to you.
Somehow does it actually mean anything to Alex?
No, It means nothing to any of you.
Well, bollocks. No, nothing.
But on that note, our blood comes from ancient stock. Some believe we are the blood of Eve. Some say we are the blood of Lucifer. There are many, but the truth of the matter is, magic is a real thing. There are wizards and werewolves and things beyond wildest dreams and nightmares.
Storyteller. Would Alex know about his blood? Would even though he hasn't active, would he know about his bloodline?
Your sire will have mentioned it in passing, but she won't have given you.
And I start walking towards the bookstore.
You won't have been given like a full rundown of it. It's more like you kind of get the feeling that she mentioned that just as she was starting to get really bored.
We know what his clan is? Like, does he have any mark? Like, is he obviously one clan or another, or is it kind of more of a gray with him, where he could be?
No, Alex. Alex is basically wearing punk gear, but he's obviously, from his presence and his appearance, he's obviously Deva. But but he's also from. He's actually from a specific bloodline of Deva,
which is not activated. None of you have any bloodlines activated.
Yeah.
Also, I'd be hallucinating near constantly, and Kyle would have the time of his life with that.
And I can't freaking pronounce. I still can't pronounce the actual name.
The Dalsheim.
What's your clan? Did your sire tell you?
I am of the Deva specifically. I think she mentioned something about being of the Dulstein clan bloodline.
Really? That's unique. How much do you know about Deva?
Not much. We're supposed to be social, charismatic with the more powerful of us. Well, I don't know much other than we're supposed to be naturally good at seducing and swaying the hearts of others.
To give you an idea, from what I've been led, your coven's nickname is Succubi. If that gives you any ideas of what your gifts might do.
I only have one gift when it comes to that sort of thing. That's what do you call it? Majesty, which is what I used in there. Other bloodline power, other things.
Would we know about the other disciplines of Deva?
I'm
guessing it's not a secret. Like, that's not something you could keep secret very well.
No, you know about the clan. Each clan knows about the discipline spread of the others, where they're pretty much like, well, most who have been fully integrated into vampire society know about the discipline spread of the others. The only one who doesn't really is Alex, because he hasn't been taught fully vampire society. He's just been pretty much given a basic rundown and then left on his own as fully bored.
As the DM, do you want us to move on from this? Like, I'm actually this is kind of fun walking a new vampire through important stuff, and then we can get an idea of what he knows from now on. Or would you prefer to just, we talk for a long time and fill him in, and then we go to bed and we make up tomorrow night?
You guys can continue to fill him in. I'm actually getting close to the point where I need to head off. Okay. Because we're actually over by 18 minutes for me, but I can keep going until about 10:45, and then after that I need to get off.
Okay.
So,
And
I also have a few other disciplines I've gotten a basic understanding of. There is
Celerity, which
uh,
is speed, moving faster than humanly possible, and vigor, which is superhuman strength.
yeah. Also, I have gained some abilities in obfuscate.
So you've wandered off the path. Fair enough.
So I've only got a basic control of them. Even then, it's
You'll have a
like
harder time progressing through paths that aren't on your bloodline, but you can
uh,
still do it.
yeah.
Yes.
Is there any other questions you do you know about the clans? The covenants, I mean?
Covenants. Uh, it depends what you mean.
Has anybody asked you to join their ranks? Have you learned anything about groups?
No one's really asked me to join. If you talk, if we talk about groups, I am unaligned.
Do you know about the mayor and about the power he wields?
No, it's just feeling stupider than usual.
Okay. The mayor basically has absolute power. If you do something that's breaking one of his rules, you die. You piss him off too much, you die. And it's not something any of us would get in the way of, or we would die too. You're dealing with. There are groups and people here. The others he spoke of, the Seven, the Dark Hand. I don't think any of us have fought in something like them before.
Mm.
I find
Whatever.
my survival is more enhanced if I don't fight anyone.
Uh, I've sort of grew up when I was human. I sort of grew up. I had to fight to survive. I didn't come from a particularly nice neighborhood.
Sometimes fighting is the best option.
Hmm.
But there are groups and things that are in the dark that running is your only hope and prey.
Access like just this is a lot of the process.
We are the chosen hunters, though. As man hunts deer, we hunt man. That is our place. Blessed and at the top of the food chain.
Except for all the things that eat us. We're monsters, nothing more. And Ragtag leaves.
Yeah, I need a drink. Realize, crap, can't drink beer from the tap. I need to go find a drunk, a drunk hottie.
I'm glad you figured that one out.
Gumbo fed. Gumbo fed. Don't leave any evidence. And if you have any extra equipment that you can't walk around on street level, I feel like tomorrow might be the need for it.
Yeah. Um,
Uh,
let's
not
let's get a
really.
bite to eat, and probably if there's any nighttime left, um, I will go over some of, let's say, basic 101 kindred society with Alex.
Like,
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna go actually to our covenant and warn them about the two groups that might be in town, and I'm also going to see if they'd be willing to lend me some armor or equipment for this if it does come down to a fight? Kind of either a bulletproof vest or some type of just armor that I couldn't just walk around topside with, so that I could put on in sewers and for extra protection.
And
Yeah,
Alex is gonna go find
I'll follow.
Alex is gonna go
I'll
find a
follow.
frat party.
I'll follow Carter, and I'm going to talk to Ashley a bit. First about more or less the divination at the beginning of the scene. More or less what I was able to glean, which isn't anything new, I guess. And probably ask her if we could initiate the teaching of a new ritual soon, as things seem to be picking up very fast.
Well, your sires are actually waiting for both of you once you come up to the crown. Nick, your Ashley pulls you aside as you come up to her. Trevor, your Ashley seems almost to have been waiting for you. So you're coming up and you're Nick, you're coming up and you're asking her. Go through and actually state in character what you're asking.
Sure. First I will relay about the portents that I was able to divine, which probably isn't anything new. I will also tell her what our coder's objective is: to go into sewers in a maybe extended run to find Mary's reliquary, which might be next to or near Percy's own reliquary, and kind of reliquaries. Percy's kind of reluctance to go there. After that, I will tell her, I know this is probably a little bit inopportune, but I would like to start learning a new ritual. As we both know, the portents are pretty dire, and we have no information, no telling what can happen. And if there's something functioning on a mystic level, which I believe there is, we and my coder need to be in the best shape possible for this. I'm not to speak to a divination of a hair-specs at all, but I believe it's time to continue my training, if you agree.
I do agree. This is not an opportune time, but through trial, through hardship, we overcome. We become something better and something new. After you are done with tomorrow night, come and see me, and we will begin your deeper training.
Very well. There's also another matter. When we exited the medical wing of the university, I was able to see elemental spirits. My knowledge is very limited about them, but from what I know, I shouldn't be able to see them. What can you tell me about them?
I can tell you nothing. You need to seek the Garu, the Forsaken, and speak with them. Luna's children are the caretakers in that aspect. We give them all due respect that we can, given their number and their strength. They are another aspect of the mother. Another monster like ourselves.
Should I parlay with them to see what this could mean?
If you can find a pack willing to, yes.
Are they usually very unwilling in front of kindred?
Their social structure is very close and very tight-knit. They do not like dealing with outsiders very often. So you will have to earn their trust. And it might mean that one of you or all of you could be touched by something from the other side. Just be
Very well.
prepared for that.
I will. Very well then.
Trevor, Ashley greets you friendly, but she looks a bit worried as you come up to her. It's not very often that you come up here stating that you have news. Is he still here?
Is that for me? Sorry.
Yeah, that was for you.
Okay. There was... I've never quite been as gifted with the sight as others, but I heard something on the way back that... Would you know what... It spoke of the indulgence of the king of unforgiving fire, and he comes with bloody hands. But that is only the first of the great, interesting night we have had.
What else happened? What? Tell me everything.
The seven might be coming. And the bloodied hand might be involved as well.
The brood of Bailal are going to be moving then. This is not good.
We want to prepare for war.
Yes. Keep close to Arthur. And
As I come to you, not speaking freely.
I don't know much in regards to this. My placement is normally in regards to such as defense against physical threats and moving in those ways that are needed by our leadership in defending and destroying. This is something beyond my own capabilities to be able to work with. Arthur's line is much better in regards to this respect, but I think this might even be beyond him. So what you're telling me is that tying into potentially Mary's prophecy, you've now been told by somebody else that the brood and seven are becoming involved, potentially. And then you've been told that that the King of Unforgiven Fire, which sounds more like a title than it does a name, is coming with bloodied hands. It might be that whoever they are is coming with the blood, the brood.
That's possible. He also warned of something waking up below the city. Something a third generation, not third blood potency fears. And it might be involved with the phylactery as well. There is great forces, something dark whispers. And Nick looked into the stones and saw death, destruction, blood. Nothing good.
Stick close to him. Keep an eye out on the portents.
You know I will protect him.
Keep your claws sharp and be ready to move.
Speaking of, we plan on heading to the sewers with no mortals around. I was wondering if there was any armor or equipment I could bring in case things do come to blood.
She narrows her eyes for a moment and then lays one finger on her lips before she goes, I might be able to get you some body armor. Give me... I'll see about getting it over to you and at the start of tomorrow night. Just give me a few hours to get that. But it has to be returned no matter what shape it is in.
Of course. Other, if I have not faced the true death, you will get it tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
And I say this completely like there's no like I stated fact.
And she takes that and then she responds back very matter-of-factly as well.
What are phylacteries? I know we were looking for one, but I found somebody awake with his also missing. He, as if a hole has been cut from him.
Some vampires, before they go into the slumber of ages, will concentrate their power into an object that when they awaken will be consumed by them to regain the spiritual essence that they had before. It does not, unfortunately, prevent the ravages of time that the great horror can do to the mind. But what it can do is create a physical link to powers that once were had that can be regained once again once you are awakened.
She can put the into this if she cannot awaken without it. He is of. Sorry, I forgot what coven he was from and his name. He was.
He's not. Nobody really knows what covenant he is with. Percival is a Maquette, though.
Percival Maquette has agreed to assist us. His is the phylactery that is missing. Do you think we can trust him not to stab us in the back?
I wouldn't trust anybody as far as I can throw them.
Which is fairly far.
Yeah. But if you are getting him something back that he desperately needs and will make him whole again, then trust him, but do keep an eye on him. He is different, and that must be handled in some way.
See if I can build some trust between us, but if not, I won't leave him a throat to slit.
Good. We expect a report once you all get back, no matter what happens.
Flint, wait. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, when you have a second, I'd like to talk about background a little, because I think I mentioned it, but I'm not sure if you remember what because I think it'd be kind of a cool element to have in.
No, go ahead. What is it?
No, private at some point when.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow then when I'm on the road.
Okay.
All right. But does anybody else have anything that they want to have dealt with?
I just put the battery back in my phone.
Alex is going to go to frat party to feed and fornicate, not necessarily in that order.
I'm gonna go back to my haven, and I'm gonna use drops of destiny to see if I can more or less get a beat on Mary's reliquary phylactery. I'm not sure which one it is right now.
Or it's pretty much interchangeable. It's a thing filled with blood that has part of a person's soul in it. So.
Yeah, same thing. So I want to try that back at my altar in my haven to see if I can get some beat on it.
You try, but the ritual does not yield any result.
Would I know why?
You get the feeling that something greater than the power that you wield is meddling with it.
Fuck no.
One other quick question for you. Since I'm basically the tech guy, I assume that I have about as secure a cell phone as possible.
Yep.
Okay, then I just text Scratch. The Seven and the Brood might be working together. And I'm sending that like a casual message and popping the phone back.
Scratch text back to you. Oh, thanks for the heads up. You're gonna be pulling cadaver duty like for the next week after whatever you're doing is done.
Text back. Can I subcontract that work?
No, you can't.
Okay, what does that actually mean? Cadaver work.
Cadaver work means that any human bodies that are used as part of rituals you're going to be disposing of for the next week.
Okay, I'm going to find a way to make the other three pay me back for that.
We do it.
Can I use werewolf blood to get out of this?
Yeah, very funny. You already had that chance.
Hey,
Yeah.
you still owe me. It's not like you're going to want it.
Are you actually?
We do that on a daily basis. You're talking to a covenant where we literally use human sacrifices to do magic. It's a daily
Then get rid of your own bodies for a week and I'm good.
We do, but now it's your bodies, not ours. They're your property.
Do you actually send that message over to Scratch?
No, I want to keep those vials in reserve for if we need, an emergency monster.
All right. So with that, we come to a close. Another night of the week. Things are moving. And in the darkness, in a far-off alley, a scream is heard. And then something crawls up the side of a building, almost like a spider, legs twisting and arching before it comes up to the roof, and a howl is heard across the city. Good night, everyone. We'll see you.
I hate you so much.
Son, never.
You fucking.
Well,
Kyle loves doing that at the end of our sessions now. He's like, I'm just gonna fuck with Nick. I'm gonna say this.
okay, we will be back next week with our D&D game, The Expendable Crew, that I am running. There are things afoot. Although, when Kyle is running amok, something is always afoot. Usually something that he swears was totally accidental and he meant well, but we'll see how that goes. So, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We are going to scream at Kyle for a couple of minutes, but we'll do that in private. So, have a good one, everybody.